Hey, TIW Mafia, it's the Yeti, it's Josh. Thanks for taking time to listen to our SummerSlam special against our folks up there in the north, Talkamania. Thanks, guys, for taking the challenge. It's going to be fun. Again, enjoy, listen. Parental advisory, folks. There are some curse words in here. There's nothing... Yeah, there's some curse words. Don't let your kids listen to this.
How much shit do we want to talk about the Talkmania guys? Or do you want to be nice to them?
Them. You're the only pro wrestler I know that wants to do this shit in the morning.
Yeti, you're a f***ing moron.
Put it this way, I think Sami Callihan might as well just change his name to Invader 1.
I want to know why. Like, he can dodge any question. Like, I'll tell anyone that. You can tell me but I'm going to ask specific questions.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
WrestlingNewsSource.com. All the rest of you yahoos are out there dilly-dillying you little wankers. We're actually receiving real wrestling news.
This is Brett Screwed Brett.
Who are you to doubt El Dandy? Because this guy's a serious professional.
Brett Screwed Brett.
Hold 2, arm bar.
Hey, get a nice shot of the brand new Mr. and Mrs. Hunter Hurst Helmsley.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate your hat. I hate your t-shirts. I hate your wristbands. I hate your shoes. I hate your music. I hate the C Nation. I hate everything that you stand for.
Sodas rule.
Yeah, they do.
What's up, everybody? This is JP here with the Irish Whip, sipping on some whiskey, normally some beer. I got my Boston Harbor Distillery whiskey made with the Sam Adams Triple Block. What's going on, Josh?
Cloverleaf Studios West, I'm sipping on a little bit of Dragon's Breath, as well as, since it is a prediction show, I make a tradition for the champagne, but is established in 1903, which is Miller High Life, and is the champagne of beers.
Alright, guys, we've been doing this for a long time, so I'm pretty sure me and Josh can just bump this whole show out in one take.
Oh my god.
So we got the...
If there was a place... Never mind. I'm over it, man. What's
the match before the 205 Live match?
So, biggest one is that we've got Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega versus Rusev and Lana.
Yeah, Rusev and Lana all day long. It is Rusev Day.
The penetrating blue eyes of Sub-Zero.
People keep talking about her eyes today. What eyes?
Oh, you didn't... I think she's wearing some contacts.
No, I'm joking. Like, I don't look up that far.
You asshole. You are... You know, that's the thing, is like, I'm... My problem is, and people will understand this, is that I have daughters that are old enough to be Lana and Liv, and so...
No, Lana's gotta be, like, mid-20s.
But still...
Liv is young, yeah. Liv can't be that young, though.
I think she just turned 21. The boys at Talkmania will know.
She's beautiful, though. I want to know what she did to that Smurf, though.
God bless you. Andrade Cien Almas, I'm missing the mask. But we are both in agreement with the fact that we are going with Rusev and Lana on the kickoff show.
It has to be.
Okay. Second match. This is the one that you and I will probably debate for a while. Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak for the 205 Live Championship.
I think you talked me into Gulak. Alexander's had the belt for a little while. Since Enzo left, right?
Yes, I believe so. I mean, I watch it constantly, but the last month I haven't had the chance to. But I'm pretty sure that when Enzo lost it, Cedric's been the champion for a long time.
So I think it's
hashtag Talkmania.
I think it's time for Gulak to get that run and to give it to somebody different.
No fly zone. Drew is a tactician of technicians of all, and what I really think needs to happen is that Drew will take this belt, run with it, and then we get an Alexander and Rush kind of back and forth for a little while, maybe old style RVD Jerry Lynn type stuff, like they used to do for the television title on a weekly basis, where they just go go and go and go. And Drew can battle with whoever and do whatever, but there has to be, at that point, circle back around to a three-way where one of these two wins the belt back. But I think Drew gets a good, nice little run with the belt.
I hope so. Deserves it, definitely.
Just so you got, I mean, he's, again, talking to him and DJ, grabbing light tubes and shit at CZW. The skinny kid from Drexel, just like...
But then he's also trained kids like Wheeler who are like...
I know, Wheeler Yuta, they talk so highly of him, and that's why it's his time. It's got to be. It's just... You know me, I'm a CZW mark, so I'm off track. I'm just going to get off Johnny Moxley for right now. So we're going Drew Gulak for a win, right?
Yeah.
Finn Balor, good segue, my friend. Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. Hashtag Demon Balor.
Jobber versus jobber.
Did those words that's Fergal Devitt, not Finn Balor.
Am I not right? What match has he won recently?
He hasn't, man. And it pisses me off, and that's why you said it. The fact that they continue to do this to Finn kills me. Like the Balor Club, cool, whatever, awesome, blah blah blah. But one, he never lost the title. Never lost it. Okay.
Right. But here's the thing. So my prediction is Balor on this.
Okay, it better be. It has to be.
What friction does Baron Corbin have with his boss if he wins this match?
Nothing.
Right. What's the one thing that kind of character needs is friction.
Absolutely. And that's what is missing.
He has to lose this match. Baron Corbin has to lose and Finn Balor wins.
This is my opinion of it. This needs to break both of these at this point in time. This needs to be the launch off point for two things: a huge Finn Balor push, and us being old school. And you'll appreciate this because we haven't talked about this yet. Is I really, 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 really desire a WWE Television Championship.
Yes.
And I want that, whether it's Seth or whether it's Finn Balor or whoever, but then we get the matches that we want. The fans get to vote on it. It's more interactive. It's the WWE universe that you want. They get to control that stuff. The television title is for the WWE universe, okay? Then there's no more of getting into who's booking what and the producing, and it drives me nuts. But what I'm saying is that Finn Balor needs that push. The opposite thing of that is I hope people can appreciate this when I say this, is that I hope Baron Corbin gets a Gilbert push. A huge Gilbert push.
That's what that character should be, is Gilbert. Not Gilbert. You know what I mean? Like, he shouldn't be winning matches in that role. No,
and the guys from... I listened to Talkmania today when they talked about some of the stuff, but he needs that. If he's going to be the enforcer, then be the enforcer, because enforcers mean jack shit in the WWE right now. They mean nothing. So make him say, bullshit, that wasn't a 3 count, I win, give me the belt. Whatever, stuff like that. But that's the kind of stuff that needs to happen. But I want the television title to be a part of this. I really do.
Yeah, I think we both agree then.
Okay, so we're done talking about our boy Finn.
Yeah, Fergal Devitt wins.
How about this? Raw, and we may differ on this. I don't know. Raw Tag Team Championship, the B Team versus the Revival.
B Team. B Team's got the belts right now, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, B Team retains. Guys, sorry, I don't watch I'm more of an independent wrestling guy. I follow WWE, but if I don't know who's got a belt, it's because I don't watch it weekly. Right,
and that's the thing. And I do because I want to, and two, because when we do stuff like this, I have to have an educational background behind it. But
I follow it on Chikaratopia for $7.99 a month.
I wish I could read that guy's tweet that he talked about. One of these days, we're going to run down the Chikara guys that are in the E right now at some point in time and how they relate. But those guys will figure that out when they listen and go, I wonder how that works out. With me in the B Team, back on track. The first week is free, $7.99 a month. The B Team, I think, would be a perfect team to just continue to carry the belt and have guys like the Revival go head-to-head with them for a while. Let the B team. I mean, Bo Dallas is amazing, right? And you got Mr. Perfect genes right there. I mean, it's not like they're bad. They're pro wrestlers. They just needed. Bo Dallas was cool as shit. He really was.
Yeah.
But
Bo Eve.
Still one of the greatest NXT gimmicks ever. But I really think that they need to carry the belts for a long time. I think they need to have those belts for a long time, not because of anything other than everybody. I always hear when I listen to the podcast is that the tag team divisions are stale. The tag team divisions are stale. We'll have somebody that's the polar opposite of a Brock Lesnar. Let them keep those belts. Let them have them. It's not the first time that a tag team that people never really thought they would be together ended up being together, then having a pretty big run, separating, having separate runs and getting back together. But this is kind of the roots of that.
Yeah, and I like them better as a team. I'm really not into the Revival.
I'm
Period.
not.
I think the Revival I don't think the Revival should hold the belt right now.
Well, I think it was Desmino that called the Collector. I mean, he's basically just collecting pro wrestlers. And the Revival is a perfect example of that.
Yep.
So was the next tag team championship. The Bludgeon Brothers versus the New Day.
Man. What's the Bludgeon Brothers been doing recently?
I don't know. This is the thing is that...
they're so good, and I love that gimmick. I love the two of them together. I love them without Bray Wyatt. I think it's awesome, but they have to be unbeatable.
The Bludgeon Brothers have to be unbeatable, right?
Yes.
Just like the B team has to be unbeatable. I mean, there has to be a lengthy run again.
But the New Day is unbeatable.
Yeah, that's agreeable all day long. I'm not going to ever disagree with you on that one.
And it's not that the New Day is any bigger or any stronger, but they're more athletic and they're smarter. Like, it's just their whole thing, and they're so freaking over.
They always will be. They never need... I'm getting on my phone right now because I'm trying to figure out what's the pay-per-view after this one.
Next month.
Catch us next month. WWE pay-per-view next month.
I don't know, probably like Armageddon or some shitty.
Extreme Rules, NXT TakeOver. Oh, perfect. This helps me out a lot. So after this, dude, we got Hell in a Cell.
Okay. Hell in a Cell's decent, but I don't know.
Bludgeon Brothers. If you've got Hell in a Cell, I think the Bludgeon Brothers have to... I mean, if you're going to set those characters up to what they are, as in Undertaker and Kane-esque, then you have to have them... You have to have a belt on them going into Hell in a Cell, right?
Yeah, because it's not like back in the day you used to get the rematch. So, they might have lost it, but then have the rematch at a Hell in a Cell. So now, you don't necessarily get that.
Money in the Bank briefcase. So this, I mean, do we talk about this now, or do we talk about that when we get to the other match, how we think that's going to tie in?
It doesn't matter to me. I'll say now, I think Kevin Owens is going to win. I think there's going to be some interference. But I think this sets up his title run, and I think he does get a title run out of this.
Do you think, when you say interference, do you want to, you and I talked about this off air, do you want to talk about who you think? Yeah, Sammy.
Yeah. So, here's the thing.
El Generico.
I know they're best friends. Is there anything, are they treating this like a title?
It's,
does it change hands if someone gets disqualified?
We talked about this off air. This is the most bullshit thing I've ever I mean, the Money in the Bank is the money. I mean, it's... Yeah. I understand what happened with the briefcase. I understand the whole... I mean, the last 6 months between... I think that's when I checked out, dude. I can honestly say when I saw that match go down, Finn not win the belt, take that thing right in the eye and bleed like an SOB, I think that's kind of when I checked out. But it kind of correlates to where, I mean, this whole match is headed and where this is for me. I think that, like you say, Kevin Owens is going to win this, but I think he's going to cash in the same night.
Very possible.
I hope that Roman beats Lesnar by interference with a nice... I'll just put it this way. I hope there's interference by a relative that makes the crowd pop bigger than pop. And puts Brock Lesnar where he belongs.
By a relative?
He's a jabroni of some sort.
Oh, shit, of Romans. I was thinking of Brock's and Owens. I'm like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where's SummerSlam's in New York? It's in New York, New Jersey, but New York, whatever.
You research.
I don't see.
You and I both know how much research we did into calling the Ronda Rousey stuff, right?
Yeah.
How deep do you think I went to find out where this dude's at?
He's filming a movie, huh?
There's a lot of dudes filming movies right now.
Yeah, but so
that's just my prediction. I really hope that Owens cashes in on Reigns after he wins. Whether or not The Rock shows up would be gravy for me, but it's been hinted, and that's where I'm at with it. And hashtag fire Brock.
So how about this? I forgot where I was going. Kevin Owens. I remembered. I forgot what match we're talking about. So Owens,
you're 10-second Ted.
We know Strowman can beat up Owens and Zayn
all day,
right? But what happens if Zayn comes down and smacks Owens?
Oh, I'd mark out bigger than shit for that one.
Strowman gets disqualified.
You're an asshole.
Money in the bank goes to Owens, and they're all still friends.
Is that why? Do you think that's why? Do you think that's why? And I'm reading my Kindle. I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at. So Strowman has lost, and he's been losing by like count out, disqualification. So are they trying to get people used to that?
He can't get pinned. That's Strowman can't lose by pinfall, but. Yeah, so if you
have an epic match and then all of a sudden Sammy comes down and just hits him with a chair and it's over.
But David, it could be a finger poke of doom. It doesn't have to be like a full out hit. He can walk out, slap Owens in the face. Owens bumps. Ref looks stunned. Rings the bell. Owens gets the thing. Owens never gets touched. Owens cash in later on. My mind is different. But that's
so we're so off track, dude. God, we need somebody to continually put us on track. Joe, no. Kevin Owens. We're going Kevin Owens, right?
Listen, I can't promise you The Rock will be a SummerSlam, but I can promise you Joe will be back really soon. We got the chicks too coming up.
How about before we get, because the chicks are up the board. I mean, really, they're up the board. So we're not even. We're still, if I'm reading this right, if I'm reading this right, and I'm guessing, we're still 2 away, 1, 2, actually 3 matches away from a female match. So
this is going to be a fucking 5-hour pay-per-view, isn't it?
It's Bring Your Oxygen and a lot of other stuff. So Shinsuke Nakamura and Jeff Hardy.
Shit-stained Nakamura and Jeff Hardy, huh?
Why do you disrespect him so bad?
It's just what his name sounds like to me.
Just like Columbus Day Parade?
Yes. I'm going to have to learn how to say that, the Chikara Championship. The Columbus Day Parade's not going to cut it.
Can't be no State Parejas.
Jeff Hardy.
Back? You think he's going to take that belt back, right?
Yeah.
You know Shinsuke's like it. Like, he's got that belt, and you know how Vince is a mark for people of other places having that belt.
Jeff Hardy.
Man, I think we're going to split here. For the first time tonight, I think we're going to split. If Jeff Hardy wins the United States Championship belt, right?
Yeah.
Who does he continue to compete against after that, or is this I want my belt back at Hell in a Cell, and then we get Jeff Hardy, Shinsuke Nakamura tour?
Well, since they fucked us out of a good angle with Shinsuke and AJ, why not Hardy and AJ?
I flushed that, dude. I literally flushed that. Like, I think that does not exist in this reality or any other. That is so shitty.
Shitty stains.
Shit stain Nakamura. You're such an asshole. Jeff Hardy, I think is going to win the belt, but I think at Hell in a Cell, it's a rematch. Shinsuke wins it back, and I think Jeff Hardy's going to take some time off.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Hardy on this one. I don't know what happens in the future with it.
And the only reason I say that right now is, what name do you not see on here? I mean, you don't see his brother's not on the card.
True.
His brothers. I mean, Jeff and Matt Hardy are intertwined together intrinsically, no matter what.
Matt's been doing that broken whatever thing with Bray.
Yeah.
That's not. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be clicking with the fans to me too much.
No, and Matt's got that he's got a degenerative disease now with his shit going on, so.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And when I say that's not clicking with the fans, it's absolutely over with the fans, but it's not as over as it should be with Matt and Bray doing it. You know what I mean?
I 100% agree, dude. And here's the thing is that Bray Wyatt, he doesn't get... Bray Wyatt NXT was... Marcy even, and I talk about Marcy a lot when we do this, but she absolutely despises professional wrestling. She thinks it's the most insane thing in the world. But she stopped to watch Bray Wyatt. So that just shows you what the average person that doesn't watch professional wrestling thinks of Bray Wyatt. No, take what we think of him. He's fucking amazing. Just one of the most underused talents next to Bobby Roode on the roster.
Yes, I will agree with that.
Anyway.
So much charisma.
Anyway, so tangents, that's what we got on. Jeff Hardy, we're going to go there, right?
Yes.
Okay, Intercontinental Championship. Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins. Keeping in mind that Stamkos just came back last night and looks like a beast, dude. Looks like a beast. He looks like Johnny Moxley. He's back.
So you think Dean, huh?
Well, I think there's going to be...
Oh, you think Seth, rather. It's with Dean's interference.
Well, you've got, if I remember right, Drew McIntyre is going to be in the corner of Dolph Ziggler the entire time. And that's been where we thought we were going to have Breezango and Rollins team up, and they team for a while and this and that. So I think that's where the whole McIntyre in the corner, and then I think we're going to get Ambrose out there in the corner, and it may... Something, I don't know, man. I think Dolph's going to retain. There's too many variables for a guy like me that doesn't watch it enough to understand what's going on a psychological level.
I think Dolph retains.
Me too. So we're there.
I think.
And we get into the rematch at Hell in a Cell, right?
Yeah, I think Dolph retains, and for no other reason that I think only one title belt is changing hands this time around. Well,
we just said Jeff Hardy would be one over Shinsuke Nakamura. Right? Kevin, well, we can't count the money.
All right, so maybe two will change, because I forgot we just talked about that. Maybe two will change.
Drew Gulak would be the second.
Maybe three will change. So maybe this is the only one that's not changing.
Dude, I'm keeping you on task.
Yeah, I don't think this one's changing hands. And I just don't. It's a feeling I got.
I don't like Dolph Ziggler. I never have and never will. I'm just not a fan. I just think he... oversells on a lot of stuff, undersells on a lot of things, and I've never been a Dolph Ziggler fan.
Yeah, but overselling has been the classic.
Do you want me to tell you why? This is my justification for it when people listen to this. To me, Dolph Ziggler is a knockoff, carbon copy, rubber stamped Billy Gunn.
Okay.
That's the only reason why. And it's not me. It's not. He's an amazing athlete. He's an amazing talent. He's great with a mic. Drew McIntyre and him they're amazing together. But for me personally, I just see, hey, I'm going to take Billy Gunn's gimmick. I'm going to up it about 10%, and this is who I am.
I don't know. I like Ziggler. I always have, but even when he was annoying.
But I'm a huge. I've got a DX tattoo in my arm, so I hold that shit. I hold that shit to a higher standard. So, if Dolph Ziggler wants to represent, if he wants to represent the famous or like it should be, then let's get it done, man. Be ruthless. I want Dolph Ziggler to be fucking ruthless. That's it. I don't want him to.
That's DX tattoo too.
I don't want him. Fine, Drew McIntyre is there, but you know what? Be ruthless, be brutal. I don't want words said. I'm tired of hearing the show off. That whole thing is done for me. Like, it's Billy Gunn 10, 20 years ago. It's played out.
Yeah, I don't know. He's good.
He is. He's an amazing talent. Dude, he's an amazing athlete. There's so many matches I love, and I look at him and I go, God, if you just weren't Billy Gunn, I'd love you that much more.
What if he called himself Dolph Gunn?
I think Gunn Ziggler's better.
Gunn Ziggler. B-A-D-A double crooked letter. Remember when he couldn't say it because it was Raw is War and then Warzone, or Warzone and then Raw is War, whatever it was. And one was the first hour, and because of the ratings, they couldn't say ass, so he was say P-A double crooked letter.
Yeah. He's talented. He's good, man. Just evolve. I'm just asking for a Ziggler evolution. I want him to evolve.
He has. He's not Nicky anymore.
Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. One of our personal favorites. At least mine. And Daniel Bryan. Plus The Miz. I mean...
Yeah, I was just going to say, low-key, they're both kind of one of my personal favorites.
Dude, The Miz.
I love...
If I could... And I don't say this very often, but Marcel was asking, hey, what if you ever died? Who could you come back as? I'm like, fuck The Miz all day long.
Well, here's the thing, is like, he made me not like him.
That's his job.
He genuinely, like, I understand wrestling.
I know.
And he made me not like him.
You have the know-with-all to understand the psychology behind what The Miz does, but yet he still does it effectively to you.
Yeah, so because of that, now that I look back and realize what he did, I like him.
The Miz is the same reason I love John Cena as much as I do. Are you adjusting yourself?
Yes. No, the mic. I just adjusted the mic. I'm fucking with the mic. I should stop.
Oh man. Okay,
right,
so we've got Daniel Bryan and The Miz. We've just talked about how much we love him. Not really who the fuck's gonna win. So, who do you think's gonna win?
Is this for anything?
Pride. That's it.
Aye.
I know, dude. This is the toughest. When I looked at the card today, I looked at it and I go, I can go that. I can go justify this. I can justify that. I can. Ooh, that one's a little tougher. What if this run-in happens? But when I looked at just simply Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, it's like it gets hidden in here. It's like Jerry Lynn RVD. It sits there.
Yeah, I cheated about 2 weeks ago and I went and looked at some Vegas odds, but I don't think this match isn't listed on what I saw.
And I don't say this very often, but in gorilla position, I can think of maybe a handful of times where creative has looked at him and said, "You two decide."
So this is the hardest one to call, right?
Absolutely. For me, it is.
I'm going to give my prediction in Canadian for my brothers at Talkamania. Daniel Bryan, eh?
Daniel Bryan. So just because you added an A to it?
Yes. That's Canadian.
It's the battle of the... Southie accent's different. Like, I could almost be part of the Talkamania accent.
Yeah, because you're really close to... No, not really. I listen. Like, I do listen to them, and it's like Terrence and Phillip. We do. And this is all in fun, guys. Like, they really do have a good podcast. It's not like Terrence and Phillip, but it's... the Canadians do say A. They didn't on theirs.
They remind me of JP, and this is... I think I've said this before, is they remind me of a young us. A lot more talent.
Yeah. See, but even when me and Joe were doing it, when it was me and Joe, we did this shit over the phone.
Would you... you and you're touching your microphone.
Sorry.
Put it down and quit touching yourself.
Alright, done.
You know, when people listen to this, I'm keeping that shit in there, and people are going to say, JP likes to touch his mic.
I'm drunk, and when
it's going to be a hashtag JP touches his mic.
Hashtag road to 1,000, by the way. When 3 Irish boys with the Z gets 1,000 followers on Twitter, I am going to raffle off my Hulk Hogan Funko Pop.
Funko Pop.
Dude, these things are collectible.
So we're fucking Beanie Babies.
The Hogan one you can't get anymore.
We're fucking Beanie Babies.
If we reach 1,000 by SummerSlam, which is like we need like 300.
I'm gonna give you my Hulk Hogan Funko Pop weird looking doll.
Oh, they are weird looking dolls, but they're cool. I'll also raffle off, and this one's a special one. It's a GameStop exclusive Stone Cold Steve Austin.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
God, stupid. Not buying.
No, it's actually
I'll give you 99 cents right now.
That one's actually worth a couple. They're both actually worth like about $10 or $15 a piece.
United States or Canadian?
U.S. In Canadian, that's like $72. I got a decent
SmackDown Women's Championship, dude. Carmella, which is the champion, and I'm going to do my best to behave myself, versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. And I will preface this by saying, you know how serious I take the Irish Whip top 10.
Then Carmella retains.
There's absolutely... I understand what you're going to say. You're going to say, and this is us, you're going to say Carmella's going to retain because Charlotte and Becky need to be together, blah, 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 right? Here's what I want to see happen. I want to see Charlotte put Carmella in the figure four, a bridge like there's been no bridge before, and let Becky Lynch super kick the shit out of Charlotte's face and pin her.
I want to see Carmella reverse what you call it, the figure eight.
Yes.
I want to see Carmella reverse that.
You're an asshole.
I couldn't say that with a straight face. But I just think Carmella retains. Carmella kind of needs the belt too.
Carmella needs the belt because Carmella is not a professional wrestler.
She doesn't have Cass and Enzo by her side anymore. And she needs something. It can't be just her. If you notice, when she got the belt, it was right after Cass got fired. I'm
not being an asshole when I say Carmella doesn't deserve the belt. I'm just saying she does not deserve the belt. She should have never had it. I should have never been within reach of her. She's not. I understand what people are going to say. She's a heel. She got it because she's that type of heel. She's this, she's that. I'm a purist. I'm a purist wrestling fan. That's how I grew up. That's all I know. So when I see something like, when I see Carmella, and I could pop off 5 names off the top of my head right now that aren't even signed to the WWE, that could be holding that belt right now. Way better than she is. As well as a ton of other people on the roster. And I'm not going to get into the semantics and all the other shit as to why I think she's got the belt. I'm just tired of it. I'm ready for the Irish Last Kicker to finally have the belt. Don't get me wrong, I made a huge prediction about the 4-on-4 for Evolve, you know, the 4 horsewomen here, 4 horsewomen there. I truly hope it happens then. If it doesn't, maybe we get her for a Survivor Series, but at the same time, dude, if Becky Lynch keeps getting fucked like she is, it's unjustifiable, right?
But it's not getting fucked. At the end of the day, it's a...
I understand. Okay, if you're gonna say it, I understand the Tommy Dreamer aspect of this. Like, if that's what they're building to, I understand it. But don't treat the other belts differently than this one. If you're gonna never let Becky Lynch get the belt, just like Tommy Dreamer, I mean, he got it, but it took years, man. It took years. So if you're gonna do that with Becky Balboa, then do it. But don't cheapen the other belts at the same time.
And I agree, Becky is awesome, but Charlotte's awesome.
Charlotte is a talent of all talents. And the reason why I rate what I rate is because she hasn't been in the title picture for, 2 months now? Because she had an issue with, a breast. And that's, shit happens. It's an injury. But you cannot, as soon as she gets healthy, interject her into a fucking title match.
And normally when there's a three-way title match, it's because the title's going to change hands and the champ doesn't want to lay down. But I don't think that's the case here because I can't see Carmella refusing the job because of the reasons you just said.
Well, I don't think she's... I know.
Do you think she doesn't realize she's the lesser of those 3?
I think in her head she doesn't.
Yeah, I think she knows it.
I hope she does. I hope she's humble enough to know the fact that what she's reaping the benefits are is 2 people that's no longer there, which are non-talent mouthpieces anyway. she's a product of that. But also, with Becky Lynch and Charlotte, she is not... That's Asuka's belt.
So you think Becky Lynch...
I
have to disagree with you.
I'm just talking out my ass. Charlotte's going to win the fucking belt.
I was just going to say, if it's not Carmella, it's Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte's going to win the belt. It's back. It's the same thing. It's the song and dance. I hope it's not. I hope it's the way that I say it went down. I hope I get to see a Becky Lynch heel. If not, I hope I get to see a Becky Lynch and Charlotte tag team against the Rub and Tug.
That's gonna be that music, man. I fucked that up. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's just move on because we're getting winded, man. We're getting winded on this shit. This is why we don't do this prediction show. This is old school Irish whip.
Because I think about this shit.
I know.
You think about this shit.
I know.
And it's...
Here's where we go. Here's where we go into... yes, folks, we did predict Ronda Rousey would make an appearance at the Royal Rumble. We made it public when Shayna Baszler held up the 4 when she won the belt. And here she is with the Raw Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss. Where are you on this one, man? Alexa Bliss and Ronda Rousey.
I don't know.
Do you want me to tell you what my theory is? If you can go from here?
Yeah.
Who have you not seen in an extremely long time, been held off television, not anywhere, not seen, nothing whatsoever, but has wrestled both of these and been a best friend over the other one?
Baszler?
Nope. The big girl.
Mickie James?
The big girl. The only one we said that could actually make Ronda Rousey legitimate.
Oh, Nia Jax.
Nia Jax. I think Nia Jax. Here's the thing. Horrible loss. Natty was probably going to be part of this angle at some point, I think. Part of this. Huge. I think there's had to be some... I guess it just depends. Natty's a huge professional. She always makes sure that professional wrestling comes first, and that's why we love her. So if she's there, I think she helps Ronda. But if she's not, I think Nia makes a huge play. I just don't know which side she goes.
You know what? I think Rouse wins. I think this is the one title change we get for the night.
The one title change. This would be number 4. So
yeah, I know.
So you're going.
It was a joke this time. It wasn't last time.
I've already voiced my opinion on what I think of what needs to happen with Ronda Rousey. I think she needs to not necessarily Gilbert this stuff, but at the same time, this is a business. So I think the reason Alexa got the belt the last time was to add that number to how many times she's been a champion, because this is going to be a long, long, long run for Ronda.
So, yeah, so here's the thing, is Ronda's one weak point everybody was saying was her promos, and
shut up.
Was it 2 weeks ago? She cut a hell of a promo.
Here's the thing, is that you and I both know, and why we love $7.99 for ChikaraTopia.com, is that these kids, when they first start and they get to wear a mask, they get to be somebody else. That's what they get to do. Ronda, if you guys haven't read her book, you guys got to read her book. You got to know the story of Ronda Rousey to understand how talented she is, where she's come from, the sacrifice that her mom has made, and the loss of her father that's made her who she is. That's the coolest thing about Ronda Rousey for me. So when she does win the belt, this is... What we're seeing right now is a transformation of Ronda Rousey, accepting the role as a professional wrestler, and her promos are getting better and better. Name me one other person that you know that went from not being a professional wrestler to being a professional wrestler and being able to cut the promo that we just saw her cut, not only for Jim the Anvil Neidhart, but also throughout the weeks, because I keep up on Ronda because she's one talented lady. So there's no other person in this universe that I can think of that has progressed as far as she has within 6 months, right?
Right, and she has a lot of people in her corner that can help her.
At Kurt Angle.
At Shayna Baszler.
At Shayna Baszler. At all four horsemen. Anyway, we both. I mean, here's the thing. This is it's a business. It's money. People are paying to see Ronda Rousey. The build-up has happened. They did it the right way. They took her off television. They got her with Natty. They got her with a professional. They did what they needed to do with her. They helped her. The only part that you can never really control or assist with is the promos. That is something that only takes time and confidence.
When's the UFC Hall of Fame?
Oh, good question. I don't know, sir.
When's that induction?
I don't know. Do you?
I'm not sure, but I know
Why
she's
do you ask
going
a question you don't want an answer to?
Because Rousey's going in this year.
I know.
So
if she goes in, she's got to go in with a belt. She's got to be holding. She's got to be holding the women's championship belt.
Yeah,
we agree.
So I think Rousey.
Okay. Universal Championship: Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns.
So I think this is the one title that changes hands this time. I think Roman.
Jesus, is this Night of Champions?
I don't know on this one. I would love to see Roman Reigns get the belts.
I would too, but here's one of two ways this is going to happen, and it's been happening for the last year. Quick and squash, long, violent, Lesnar wins.
And I don't think they fire Brock.
No.
Hashtag fire Brock, but I think Heyman fires Brock.
You think that here's my sick mind. I gave you the scenario with Kevin Owens, right? When's the last time that you've seen a Paul Heyman guy actually get turned on by Paul Heyman?
Right. I haven't.
I would love. I mean, it's the build. The build is there to actually see Brock Lesnar take that chair from Paul Heyman, old ECW, and let the Romans go 1, 2, 3 clean.
Now here's the thing: when the WWE builds something, they do one of two things with it. There's no third option.
It's either good or bad.
They either rush it, which is what I think they'd be doing by having it happen in SummerSlam, which is what I think's going to happen, or they just all of a sudden completely drop it and forget it ever existed. And I think one of those scenarios happens here.
Meaning what? You have to explain yourself.
Meaning, so like either after SummerSlam,
yes,
like you said, Heyman either does something to help Roman Reigns win, or Brock wins, and it's as if there was never any friction between the two.
Either way, it's the most memorable or most forgettable match of the night, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think it's gonna. If the title doesn't change hands, it's gonna be absolutely forgettable. You're not gonna be talking about that Monday morning.
No, everybody's saying, "Oh, I knew that was gonna happen."
If Roman Reigns wins it, people are gonna bitch that he won it, and then within a couple of weeks, they're gonna all turn to his side.
Dude, sidebar is for me how different WWE fans are depending on what stars show up in what city and what location in the United States.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's cities that are traditionally tough, like Philadelphia. But like they just like booing. They don't want to boo the guy that's being shoved down their throat. I mean, they don't want to cheer for the guy that's being shoved down their throat, which is what the WWE does with Roman. The quote-unquote chosen ones. The Cenas, Cena was this huge push. Like, people wanted to boo. But it was only because the WWE was trying to tell you he was unbeatable. But I think it's Roman. I honestly think Roman. Brock still doesn't have to show up every week. He's still an attraction. He's got to focus on the UFC right now. I think Roman.
Does Brock have a?
You know what? I have to say Brock.
Does Brock? Does Brock have a? Does he have a fight lined up with UFC? I mean, I know he called out Cormier, but I mean, have they lined? I mean, do you follow that stuff more than I do? Have they signed a fight yet, or?
I don't think so, but it's going to happen. They both, I mean, they brought Brock in the ring for that, so.
Yeah, so Lesnar's going to, here's one of two things is going to happen. Either Lesnar's going to drop the belt to Roman Reigns and we see the run and we see the cash in for KO and a good run with that, or we see Brock Lesnar retain because we know that there's already a Cormier Brock Lesnar fight lined up. And who, I mean, you know the ego. Who else would love to see a WWE belt in the UFC ring?
Right.
So I don't, dude, this is so, I mean, like, I thought, we said Daniel Bryan The Miz was hard to call, but this one's even just as hard for me to call. Like, this is the one that kills.
I've just changed my mind because I think last month I predicted Brock because I want to see him in the UFC ring with the belt.
Yeah.
So I changed my mind from that. So I'm going to say Brock. Straight up Brock Lesnar.
Here's what I'm going to say is...
Also don't think that Owens cashes in for the Universal belt.
Both. So even if Lesnar does win, do you think that this plays off of this is just me talking to you. Do you think that this plays off of Kevin Owens playing like he can't even compete with somebody like Braun Strowman, get these hands, and then we see either way, whatever this happens, KO is running in and you see him absolutely either destroy Roman and they have a great match, or he has to come out and just absolutely obliterate Brock Lesnar. Just mutilate his body.
I mean, they've been kind of building a fucking... Yeah, I think it's Brock. And I think you're right. Owens is going to cash in on Brock, but not same night.
Cool. Okay.
Because they've been building kind of... If you think about it, they've been building like a Brock... Oh, Owens versus the big man, so... why would he stop now?
Okay, last one, because we're going on almost an hour here, dude. Like, we're old school again. Irish people.
Probably 2 hours or so.
Jesus, man. It's like, would these guys just shut the fuck up? AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. And I'm a huge mark for this one.
Yeah,
it's 10 years.
Who's got the championship right now?
It's 10 years too late. AJ Styles has the belt. It's 10 years too late for the E. This stuff actually happened in
Joe gets the belt.
Yeah, I think AJ's had it for a while. I think it's time for him to take a little bit of time off, hang out with the kids and the family. He's a huge family guy, and I would love nothing more than to see Samoa Joe win that belt. And I mean, there's so many possibilities that go off of this, especially if we've got Jeff Hardy winning and Shinsuke dropping the belt. And I mean, you've got, hey, I beat the shit out of AJ Styles. Now you got the belt. I'm coming for, you get that belt.
We say we're long-winded, but I think our prediction shows are sort of like Phil's write-ups that he does at Defy Wrestling on the IrishWhipPodcast.com.
Oh, dude, Philip does the coolest write-ups for Defy. Like, that guy... I mean, and Matt over there just said, like, the shows that happen over there with the guys from Progress and the WWE Superstars from NXT UK, like, that's not broadcast anywhere. Progress may put it out there, they may not, but I think WWE contractually, what Matt told me is that it was you either got there and you saw it or you didn't.
So they can't broadcast those because of their contracts. Because their contracts state that that no televised matches for them. So
look how quick we went from WWE to one of the coolest independent promotions in the world.
Defy is really cool, and they bring people. They have to, but they bring guys in from everywhere.
Did you see the new poster?
Yes, for Defiance.
No, well, absolutely, Defiance, King of Trios. No, the new poster for Defy.
No.
Chelsea Green.
Oh, I know you got a little hot on there.
Tommy Dreamer.
Really?
Dreamer is going to be in Seattle, dude, for Defy.
Wow. You know what I bet that'll mean? I bet you guys get House of Hardcore at some point.
Oh, man. It's just, like Flip said, and again, folks, we're going to plug this real quick. Flip Gordon's interview where he announced to us, because I'm specifically a 406 Montana native, that he has signed an exclusive contract with ROH. Everybody else kind of tweeted that stuff out later, but we waited about a week for him to announce that, and we put the stuff. And the cool thing is it's a me thing, and it's a JP thing. It's not something that we wanted to do to say, hey, check out, we got exclusive information on Flip. We wanted to interview Flip Gordon because he's a cool kid. He's young. He's charismatic as shit, and he's from my home state. And he just chose to announce that on a local damn podcast that's between me and JP and Joe sooner or later on the other cross. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Right. There's but there's a level of professionalism that we have to have too, where if somebody says to us, "Hey, we're going to announce this on your show," then cool. But if they don't say it beforehand, and it like he kind of surprised himself in how he said it, which you can hear that.
You can hear it in the interview. He was like, "Oh shit!"
He realized he said it. Like, oops. So, we're not going to put that out until it's safe. And then when it got announced on being the Elite, we knew it was cool to put out. So
yeah, and it's the same thing with Anthony when just to plug another podcast, The Wrestling Perspective with Petey Williams and Dennis Fertile, which is going to be part of our fantasy football stuff. They've got Ryback, and there's specific stories that Anthony Green shared with us in Ryback that we kept that stuff out, man.
Yep.
Pete. Hashtag HEAT.
Did we edit that?
Oh, yeah, we edited, dude. We did. We edited it.
So I didn't say what I said.
I may have just bleeped it, though. I don't know. We'll see if people go back and call us on it.
I mean, I don't know him, so I said something basically just joking, but yeah, it's dick. But no, it's yeah, there's just levels of professionalism, and sometimes we have it, and sometimes we get really drunk before a show starts.
And the reason that we like to do these prediction shows is because it's the time that we get to hang out and let loose, because when we interview these independent wrestlers, it's their opportunity to tackle the confidence, tackle the charisma, and battle the insecurities that it takes to be a pro wrestler, folks, because anybody that can get in between those ropes they're better than me. Hashtag better than me, MJF.
Better than you. Did you see his t-shirt with the scarf?
Oh, dude, he is. Man, when I think of heels, like when this kid breaks, like when he legitimately breaks, when somebody actually says, let's do this, he's just gonna wreck shit. He's the next Razor Ramon.
Ooh, that's a big call.
He's the next Razor Ramon.
That's a big thing to fill.
He doesn't, dude. He will fill it, and I think that there's no other person out there heel wise that could do what the MJF is doing and succeeding and growing as fast. I mean, just think of it how fast is Anthony, MJF, Tessa, Ace, Austin, Wheeler Yuta. Rex Andrews just won Reality Wrestling belt. All these kids that we get to talk to in the last 6 months, how fast their careers have gone.
It's nuts. It's crazy. And I'll be talking to a bunch of people over the next couple of weeks, and we'll be announcing some names and stuff that'll be coming on the show, like local and not local, actually.
The biggest one for me is that I want
something in the same room with Malonis.
I'm ready for Lance, man. I am so ready for Lance.
Yes, that's gonna be that was always your guy.
Oh, did Lance Hoyt?
That was back in the day.
He is the most. When we just said Bobby Roode and Finn Balor, right? Like when people watch, I tweeted something with him on there, where the 6-sided ring for TNA, and he went coast to coast the longest way you possibly could. Like when people think it's Shane O'Mac, I'm like, cool, yeah, whatever. Have you guys ever seen Lance Hoyt do that?
What was the supermarket parking lot interview?
Oh god, dude, you're testing my mind here.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Were you guys interviewing Lance and someone else walked through the parking lot? Or was it you were interviewing someone else and Lance walked through the parking lot and you wound up just on the spot interviewing both of them at the same time?
Both of them at the same time. God, who was it? I think it was Cash. I think it was Kid Cash.
Oh, probably.
I think it was Cash.
It was just completely random. That was on Total Nonstop Radio.
Yeah. That was
completely random. You wound up with interviewing both guys.
It's crazy.
I remember that. Me and you didn't talk about that spot. That wasn't pre-planned. I just remember that interview. That stuck out to me. It's crazy shit.
Here's the thing: is we're just getting our feet wet again. I'm humble. I'm humbled the fact that people are willing to listen to us talk about our perspective, and we're old guys. I mean, I grew up in Montana, where I'll send you pictures where people will say Montana was the birthplace of the Dungeon. It's where the Hart family started. It was Great Falls. It was Butte. It was Montana. It's where Bret Hart talks about coming down to Montana and just watching wrestling and having a good time here. It's what I grew up with, but it got lost when, unfortunately, that great family moved to Canada, and now it's taken probably 50 years, and the closest thing we've gotten to it is Flip Gordon, so he is our savior.
Oh, man, wrestling is going to be in Montana. The fire's just going to carry it. I don't know if you can just jump into a monthly, but, I think they do, twice a year now?
As far as Defy?
Running a show, yeah, in Montana.
I think if you did it quarterly, you'd be okay.
Run it the way the pay-per-view should be run. But you got WWE coming.
September 21st. It's the first live show I've been to in 15 years.
Dude, I have to miss Jake the Snake Roberts at New England All-Star Wrestling on the 25th. You guys, there's a couple of good shows in Mass I want to plug just 2 seconds really quick.
1, 2.
August 25th, New England All-Star Wrestling, Hanover, Mass, Starland. I forget the other ones. August 23rd, Thursday night, random Thursday night show in Mass. That's what Yuta was talking about, I think, the other day when he was like, "Wow, Massachusetts got a Thursday show."
Wheeler.
It might have been Green Ant that was saying that, but yeah, it's and that's UFO Wrestling, Malden Irish American Club. Good show. Brian Malone is first. Mike McCarthy for the headliner.
Huge shout out to UFO Wrestling for running our stuff in their flyer, even though it's a local independent show. It's just we helped them out a little bit, and they helped us out a little bit. That's what that's what the Irish Whip is about, folks. We're here to share the love. If you need help with something, let us help you out.
TNA Impact Star is going to be there. Robbie E. WCW Star Ernest the Cat Miller will be there signing autographs. I think wrestling. I don't know if he's got a match or not, but he's definitely there to sign. And then August 26th, Fenway Park. I can't stop talking about that one. I'm so pumped for that.
You're going to be there, and you're going to be with a mobile recording device, but we will not be doing our podcast. Is that what you said?
Well, no, we'll be getting snippets for our podcast. I'll be recording on something, but I have sort of a plan on doing some cross promotions with other podcasts that may or may not realize that I plan on doing cross promotions with them.
Just so you guys know, we have personally called a lot of people on air many, many years ago, before this was a thing as far as podcasting, and boy, we got famous for it fast.
Yes. And plan on something pretty similar. I have a phone that has like nice speakers on it, like a external speaker that clips onto it. I will have that, so if I can call Josh and get Josh on the phone as I'm recording, we'll do that. It'll be awesome.
AG's girls just took a dick pic the other night. Oh shit! Hey, speaking of this, folks, when I exit here right now, I'm gonna go turn on and I'm gonna watch King Dong Bundy versus the King of Dong Style.
I need that T-shirt. I hope AG has an extra T-shirt of that, because I know he made it for the one event.
Hey, again, folks. Hey, thanks for listening. I'm Yeti. I'm Josh. On behalf of JP, Joe, which isn't in here, and other forms of the TIW Mafia. Thanks for listening to us ramble tonight. Thanks again to Talk Mania. What do we always say at the end of our shows? We haven't said for a long time.
See you next Tuesday.